Thursday. I hope you are feeling good. We're going to have a little change of pace today, so no weights needed today, okay? It's just going to be you and your mat. We're going to do a nice kind of flowy, almost like a fast-paced Pilates style session for the next 15 minutes. So I just want you coming to the end of your mat. We're going to start with a few little half roll downs. So scoop your chin into your chest, roll down, allow your arms to dangle free, and then hinging yourself back up again. So as we do these, we're starting to mobilize the spine a little bit, but also just starting to think about bringing your attention to connecting to your core. So as you roll down, keep that belly button lifted, and then think about using those abdominal muscles to help hinge you back up to standing. We're going to do 2 more half roll downs. Keep the legs straight, coming up, and then 1 more. Rolling halfway down, rolling up, drawing the shoulder blades back, opening up the chest. This time we're going to come all the way down. We're going to walk it out into a plank, whichever version of a plank you do. So come into your plank. We're holding 2. 1, we're pushing up to down dog. We're coming back into plank. 2, 1, we're coming up to down dog and continuing walking. We're going to come all the way, rolling back up to standing as we start to straighten out. Arms float out in front of us, squeeze together, and then you're going to come into a lovely little torso twist. So again, just waking up the spine. Ooh, running out of space. Good. Back through center, tuck the chin to the chest. We're going to do that little flow one more time. So roll it down, walk it out into your plank, remembering you can come onto your knees or onto your forearms. We're going to hold. Then we're going to push up to down dog. Or try and sink those heels back towards your mat. And then press yourself back into your plank position. Don't worry if it requires some adjustments. You can't do it in one swift move, that's fine. 2, 1, up to down dog. Walk those hands back in towards your toes. Rolling up. This time as we come up to standing, arms float out in front, and then they keep on coming all the way up overhead. We're going to add in a little side flexion here. And here. Back through center. Good stuff. Okay. Hopefully you got rid of any little clicks. We're going to come down into plank. So our plank is going to be our first move. Okay, so we're coming into a plank hold. Remember, you can always come onto a raised surface as well if you want to for your planks. So find your positioning and go back to thinking about securing those abdominals. So whatever kind of visual helps you with that, whether it's that corset wrapping around or that belt tightening 1 notch a little tighter, lifting your belly button up to your spine. Good, we're going to hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to sink to your knees, stretch off in child's pose. Give those shoulders a little stretch out. And then we're going to exhale, press up to all 4. So slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. We're going to come into our Superman position. So take 1 leg up, squeeze that glute, point those toes, take the other arm out long. Option 1, you just hold this, so you find your focus and your balance, you hold. Option 2, you add in that little under torso squeeze, making sure that as you return, you really come back into that big long line. So lift that leg, extend those fingers. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Return the hand, keep the leg extended, and draw the knee up the outside of the body towards the elbow. Take it back. Up the outside of the body towards the elbow. Take it back. You want to progress this move, you can come into a little hover as you do it. So press off that back foot and come into your little hover plank. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Come back down into child's pose, or just give your wrists a roll. Remember, you can be up in your fists or holding onto dumbbells if you want to keep your wrists straight rather than flexed. Okay, let's exhale, press up to all 4s. We'll come into the opposite side, so the opposite leg. Lift, squeeze the glute. Arm extend, so bring that arm all the way up in line with your ear. And again, you can either hold or you can add that little crunch underneath your torso. Think about keeping your back, your spine long, your back flat. Good. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Return the hand, keep the leg long, and then draw that knee up to the outside of your body. Extend back. Remembering you've got the option of coming in to a little hover as you do this. If you come into your hover, keep your bottom low rather than coming up to down dog. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Release. Stretch it off. Take a moment and then coming back into your plank. So again, you don't have to do the same plank each time. You can vary them, or you can come into what you know is the best position for you. We're going to hold. Good. Breathe it through for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sink to the knees and then come up to a high kneeling position. So give your shoulders a little roll through. If you need a little bit more cushioning, you can double your mat up. You want to get your knees underneath your hip, your bones, okay? So not the squidgy part of your hips. So bring them in a little bit smaller, because I promise you, that's where they are. You're going to sit up tall, so don't send your bottom back to your heels. You're going to cross your arms over your chest. We're going to come into a little lean back. So again, with all of these, whichever core moves you're doing, just lean back to the point that feels okay with you. If it pulls on your lower spine, or if your tummy feels like it's doming or anything doesn't feel right, small little movements. Again, you're going to feel this through your hips and through your thighs, but I promise the abs are doing some work. Let's go 3. Good. 2. On this last one, see if you can hold it back. 1. And hold. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Come down onto all fours. Let's take it into some cat cows. So just work through your cat cows at your own pace. Syncing up with your breathing. Having a little stretch out. 2, and 1. Come back to a nice flat back. So bring those wrists back underneath your shoulders. We're going to flex the toes. You're going to come into your hover. Option 1, hover. You lift and you lower. Option 2, hover. You lift and you hover. And option 3, hover. You take it in to a little bear crawl up and down the mat. Again, imagine that you've got a tray of drinks balanced on your back. You want to keep them from spilling. Good. Lift that belly button. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Sink down. Come back out into your high kneel. So give your wrists a little roll through. So back in, do a little pelvic tilt, get your pelvis underneath. This time we're going to add arm extensions out front. So shoulders down, arms long. Roll back, in, and then take it into a nice big circle. So back and in and circle. Got it? Exhale as you come back. Good, guys. Let's go 4, 3, 2. On this last one, hold it back here. See if you can add in some open arms. Good. Woo. Feel it in your thighs, right? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Come on back up, and we're coming down onto our sides. So we're going to come into a side plank. If you know what you're doing for your side plank, crack on. If not, I'll run through the options. Elbow underneath, coming up from the knee. Elbow underneath, coming up from the feet, or wrist underneath, coming up from the feet. So find your choice. Lift up, try and create this amazing triangle between your shoulder and either your elbow or your wrist, or your knee and your feet. Good, let's go 2, 1. Release those hips. Come up and give your shoulder a little roll through. Good. And then we're going to go into our overhead crunch. So again, you can do this lying down on the mat, so you don't have to come up into side plank. We're going to squeeze. You can push up into side plank in whichever variation you choose. Good. Breathe it through. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release those hips back down. You're going to roll onto your back. So don't come across onto the other side quite yet. Roll down onto your back. Walk your heels back in towards your bottom. Do a couple of little pelvic tilts down on the mat to get comfortable. Release your arms down by your side. You're going to exhale. You're going to lift your chin. You can either just hold this hollow crunch. You can lift your arms and come into your pulses. You could take away one foot, or you could take away both feet. Concentrate on bringing the tension into those abdominals. Good. Breathe. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release back down. Again, just come into a couple of little pelvic tilts to readjust. Good. And then from here, we're going to come into our toe taps. So again, you've always got the option of keeping one foot on the floor and extending, tapping down with either your toe or sending your leg longer and tapping down with your heel. You can come up into tabletop and alternate. You can come up into a tabletop crunch. Good. Keep going here. So exhale as you send that leg away. Inhale as you bring it back in. Remember those knees don't want to come in further than your hips. Good. Single leggers. You can switch sides. Amazing stuff, guys. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees in. Have a little rock out here. And then you can keep on rocking and roll yourself all the way over onto the other side. I'm going to turn around. So you're coming back into your side plank on the side that you haven't already done. Again, find your positioning, choose your choice. Remember to bring this top arm up. So you want to open up the chest, draw this back arm just back slightly so that it isn't tilting your balance forwards. Good. We're going to hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release the hips back down. Give that shoulder a little roll out. And then staying on that side, coming into your overhead crunch. Again, from whichever position you choose, squeeze together. Good. Beautiful. And send that leg long when you send it away. So you want to go from that shortening movement, squeeze, to that length. Good. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect stuff. Release back down. Give that shoulder a roll through. And then you're going to spin around. Back into all fours. Take it back into those cat cows. So these feel nicer and nicer as the time goes on. They always feel nice at the start of a workout, but when we alternate our strength work with some stretches, that's when it feels really good. Come back to all fours, so flatten out that back. You're going to press up into whatever plank works for you. We're going to hold. Good. 2, 1, take it into down dog. You can take your feet for a little pedal, or you can just hold this as a static stretch. And then you're going to press back into your plank, so shift your body weight forwards, move as necessary. Lift that belly button. Good, back to down dog. Sinking your heels towards your mat. One more time, we're pressing into plank. This is the final plank. I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. So take your attention back to those abs. Zip up, wrap up, lift up. Breathe. Doing great, guys. Keep on holding for me. If you're feeling it in your back, You can, of course, come down and start stretching. Otherwise, let's see if we can hold a little bit longer. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. You're going to push up to down dog and immediately start walking your hands back in, softening through the knees. Really slow roll up, okay? So allow those arms to dangle down. Crown of the head is down. No rush to get back up. Just slowly peel yourself back up to standing. Shoulders and head are the last thing to come up. Let's take it into some shoulder rolls. You can take your legs a little bit wider. We're going to reach up and over. Stretch out. Good. Give your wrists a little rotation here if you need to. Do 1 more each side. 1. And 1. Little half roll down now. Last little one. You know I get carried away on a Thursday and go over 15 minutes because I love it so much. Give your arms a little shimmy off. Shake them out. And then for the last time, we're going to roll it back up to standing. Woo! And we are done. Thursday is in the bag. I hope you feel good, guys. I hope you feel stretched and strong at the same time. I will see you all tomorrow for our total body blast. You're going to need your weights. You're going to need your energy. I'll see you then, guys. Have a good one.